Hello and welcome to Talk Time. My guest today is Ms. Sunita Khaund Bhuyan, a violinist par excellence, someone who has designed award-winning programs using music as a stress buster. Ms. Sunita Khaund Bhuyan, welcome to my show.
Thank you. Thank you.
First performing under the wings of your mother, the very well-known classical music exponent Sunita Khaund, and now as a soloist or in mesmerizing jugalbandis with your mother, a long journey.
Yes, it has been a long journey, but very fulfilling, I must say. Very fulfilling along the way.
Take us through the journey, really.
I started learning when I was around 8 years old, and I had no choice. I had to do music.
Growing up in a musical environment.
Right. So initially I took it as an exciting thing to play with, like all 8-year-olds. And then when I started playing and my mom saw that I had started picking up a few notes, she got excited and she forced me into learning the entire Indian classical traditional music studies. And that was when I got a little insecure, because as a teenager you don't want to do long hours of riyaz with a very tough instrument like the violin. So I wasn't sure that I wanted to take it up as a lifetime profession, because it is very tough to master the violin when you're young.
Is it something?
No choice. My mum saw a dream when she was 8 years old that she wanted to play the violin, and her grandfather got her the violin, and she has been playing for the past 50 years. And then when she saw me picking up the notes, I think it was in my genes, because she said that even before I was born, she used to listen to music and wish I would
you
play.
really developed something, music-led development program, which is called Melody and Harmony. Tell us something more about that. What is that really?
That's actually an extension of using music therapy for the professionals, for their stress, for their feel-good hormones, to taking music to the level of developing leaders on team players. Because the professional world today needs people who are all-rounded and who can deal with various aspects of the environment, who can deal with various people, who can fuse their ideas and assimilate them with what the market needs. And music teaches us those lessons of building depth of domain. Yeah, the raga system tells us that you cannot go to the next raga without mastering the first raga, and that's the game changer of business. You have to know one subject in depth to go to the next.
Now tell me, growing up in an environment, how does it influence one's music really? Because, do you pick up the sights and sounds of the place where you live? Or, for example, I'm asking you the question about Assam, where you grew up.
Definitely, the environment, because the original music sounds came from nature. You know, the birds chirping, the sea flowing, the wind blowing, and the lightning and the thunder. And you're right, you know, the environment really has a big influence in the musician's expressions.
How has it impacted on your own music?
Oh, a lot, because I've been living in a very metropolitan, very culturally assimilated place like Mumbai. And I've really taken to fusion music very. I really like fusion music, and I love the music of the Northeast. I love the music of Assam.
So, fusion music, they're very, very conservative classical music exponents. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm using the word conservative variety. They are totally against something called fusion. Of course, today Ustad Amjad Ali Khan himself talks about fusion. He said that he doesn't mind his sons experimenting with fusion. He loves them. But I mean, what about you? I mean, have you faced this allegation any time in your career that, okay, what you're doing, you are making a mess of the classical music?
Not really, but I've been blessed to have people around me who've been very encouraging and progressive in their thinking, starting from my guru to my colleagues in Mumbai and to my friends. Fusion remains fusion till you are not mixing it up with just anything and everything. And fusion meaning assimilating your individual style. For example, mine is Hindustani music, and blending it with another style of music.
The roots of Hindustani classical music are so strong that nothing can corrupt it.
Nothing can corrupt or dilute it, because you can't dilute music. Music is made of 7 notes. So where's the question of diluting and making it impure or confusing the music? Because whether you're playing Hindustani with jazz, Hindustani with bihu, Hindustani with Bollywood, you're using the 7 notes. So
your own guru is your mother, Sunita Khaund, but her guru is VG Jog. You also apparently played with him as well.
Yes.
On the stage.
Yes. After I finished my master's in music, I have spent a few years with him. Very fortunate, because those were the years just before he passed away. And instead of teaching me in the class, he took me on stage and he would just let me play. I think that has been one of the biggest lessons for getting confidence and reacting to various kinds of audience. HRE Congress is the forum of HR professionals from across the world who deliberate on various HR practices, policies, and innovative HR strategies. And there are various sections in HR. There is learning, there is hiring, there is human resource management, there is employee employee relationships, there's employee engagement. So in the learning category, when I presented on the topic of learning through the medium of music, leadership through music, melody and harmony, that won the award for the most innovative learning practice.
Honestly, are you taken seriously in the HR world, or are you taken seriously as a musician? What is it?
I am definitely taken as an HR professional who uses music as a tool for development.
Okay, so
yes.
It's a win-win situation for you.
Yes, at times the musician image takes over a bit, but I'm not worried about it, because that's the innovation and that's the value proposition that you could get.
So you have practiced music therapy, or you have used music therapy on cancer patients as well, and you also talk about music releasing feel-good hormones. Is it a fact? Is it true? Is it a reality? What is it?
It's actually music. Any therapy that is not invasive is music is a non-invasive therapy, because the medical world treats you through injections.
It's a recuperative kind of a therapy.
Yes. It cannot make you do a surgery, but it can help in recuperation in the sense that as soon as the music goes into the body or the brain and to the sensory system, the brain starts sending signals to different parts of the body, and the body starts relaxing. That's the first step. As the body starts relaxing and enjoying the music, whether you're doing it or listening to it, that's when the body secretes this chemical hormone called the feel-good hormones, called endorphins. Any activity that the mind and the body is ready for, you must be very cognizant of that. The mind has to be ready for it. So if it's rock music that's giving you peace, that's your therapy. If it's classical music that's giving you peace, that's your therapy. And as the endorphins increase, it helps you regenerate fresh cells into the body, and that's what helps you to recuperate.
You have worked with cancer patients in Guwahati at the B. Borwa Cancer Institute. You have also worked with destitute children and others. Now, my question to you, Sunita, is that, have you sort of received requests from patients or their wards or their attendants that, okay, why not come because my patient is showing good response, is recuperating better? Have you have this kind of request?
My foray into music therapy with patients is very new. Is very new. It's more as a group therapy that I've done these workshops. I haven't gone into a clinical atmosphere and done a pre and post effectiveness check. I've done more of group therapy with patients and their attendants, because the attendant's frame of mind is very important for the patient's recovery, and the patient's recuperative system works very well when they listen to music, do things that make them feel good. So that's been my experience.
Are you going to take this up seriously, working with patients?
I hope I can, because I got into it by default, not by design actually. I was invited to do something there, and I really liked, and it was a huge responsibility going and seeing those patients.
Yeah.
It was first very overwhelming, because we do music for pleasure and for entertainment, to see what music could do and how happy they felt, and they felt that, for 2 hours we didn't feel the pain. And so I think if I really need to go to that world a step forward, I really need to be very responsible. It's a huge commitment, and I really need to take that time out.
Are you applying your mind on that?
Yes, why not? I mean, I will have to prioritize, and you can't go there halfway. You've got to do it, completely. And
absolutely.
So I think I'll take that step, but I'll take it with the right time.
And here a piece which is a fusion of yours, really, as we end this program.
I've been trying to work on a few pieces with our very own Bihu.
Okay.
And Bihu is based in, a lot of folk music is based in the Indian ragas. You have Pahari from the mountains, and you've got, and the Bihu realized has got the elements of the Raga Dhani.
Okay.
And I'll just play that a bit and a bit of
Raga Dhani, Bihu.
So Raga Dhani.
Bihu with Raga Dhani.
With Raga Dhani. Okay. And let's see if I can end it with something else.
Absolutely.
Now the Dhani.
Wow, that's great. That's great. On that Bihu with Ragadhani, Sunita Khaund Bhuyan, thank you very much for being on my show. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure too. Thanks.